morning, traders. I am Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Monday, February 24th. We are bouncing back this morning after uncertainty about the economy and presidential policies had markets on edge at the end of last week. Markets took a dive on Friday as investors weighed their latest concerns. During regular trading, the Dow tumbled 748 points, or nearly 1.7%. The S&P 500 sank 104 points, or 1.71%. The Nasdaq ended lower by 438 points, or 2.2%. Bill, let's get into a new week with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. I mean, the S&Ps are trading higher this morning. We're up 0.54%. That's a nice strong move higher. Especially, we had such an ugly day on Friday, so this bounce back is positive. I mean, Friday's weakness really due to growth concerns. I mean, these policy changes and the events that are happening in Washington are creating weakness in sentiment data, and that was clearly on display on Friday. But today, Trump's going to be meeting with French President Macron today. Supposedly, the meeting's going to take place at 12:20, but a press conference is scheduled for 2 p.m. There could be something with the Ukraine war. We'll keep an eye on that. What else do we have? House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordon, he's demanding clarification on the enforcements of the EU's Digital Service Act, which, according to his letter, he goes, it appears to be focused on U.S. companies. Earnings are in focus. We got key earnings reports out this week from Home Depot, Intuit, NVDA, Snowflake, Salesforce.com, Dell, and Hewlett Packard. Berkshire Hathaway, they released fourth quarter operating earnings, which rose 71% on Saturday. Insurance operations very strong. Domino's Pizza, DPZ, David Paul Zebra moving lower after earnings this week. After earnings were released this morning. Then you take a quick look over at Europe. I mean, the DAX is up 177 points, or 0.79%. Remember, they had those elections on Sundays. The Christian Democratic Union won. It's not so much who won; it's just so much that the event is behind him. So you're seeing gains in Germany. France, trading slightly lower, down 0.28. The FTSE in London, flat to lower, down 0.03%. There are gains in defense stocks, but luxury stocks in France are moving lower. Mining stocks in London are moving a little lower. We're taking a look over at Asia. Japan was closed for a national holiday. I think it was the emperor's birthday. But Hong Kong, shares weakened in Hong Kong down 136 points, or 0.58%. In Shanghai and China, market was down 6 points, or 0.18%. Hong Kong weakness in tech and pharma. China, listen, they got that 2 sessions policy meeting that's set to begin next week. And, markets are anticipating additional economic policy support with that, during those meetings. So we got to keep an eye on that. And then we're just turning our attention to oil. I mean, oil has gone from higher to lower. It's trading lower right now, flat to lower, I should say. WTI is at $70.27 a barrel, whereas in Brent is at $74.37 a barrel. It's really about the supply. You got OPEC is making indications that they may push back the production hikes, which are scheduled for April, but they haven't come to the table, and there is no OPEC meeting until April 4th, where the joint ministers meeting happens. So, they could continue with that production hike starting in April. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But right now, we're seeing weakness in oil, and that's what I have for you in terms of morning market update, Emily.
Bill, we hear there's a lot to keep track of today and really throughout the week. You did highlight a number of key market drivers happening throughout the day today and throughout the week. As I mentioned, one of those areas is earnings action, some big name companies, not to mention, NVIDIA, as you pointed out. These are some major market driving companies, some major tech companies. So let's start with earnings action. Let's start with Monday. Bill, what is going on in terms of earnings?
Well, first off, we're going to talk about Owens Corning, ticker OC, Oscar Charlie. They did deliver a beat by 31 cents. They did it on higher revenue, yet the stock's down about a little over 2% this morning. Then there was Domino's Pizza, DPZ, David Paul Zebra. They missed. They missed by a penny, but it was done on lower revenue. That stock's down 4.41% this morning. Wow. Um, was only down 2% a little bit ago, but the straddle was pricing a much bigger move. So I'm not surprised to see it down over 4%. Upcoming this afternoon after the bell, we got Zoom Communications. That's ticker ZM, Zebra Mary. EPS is $1.31. Expected move is 10.22%. You got Trip.com. That's ticker TCOM, Charlie, Oscar, Mary. Their EPS is 52 cents with the expected move of 12.04%. And Public Storage, ticker PSA, Paul Sam Apple. Their EPS is $4.23. Expected move 5.95% when they release after the bell today, Emily.
And Bill, throughout the week, we will be keeping track of all of that earnings action day by day. We'll break it down for our listeners as you've just done now, so we can keep track of all of those reports. You're using your NewsWare to gather those reports. You're also using your NewsWare to gather economic events. We are starting out slow when it comes to economic events on this Monday. But Bill, what should we be watching when it comes to economic events today?
10:30 a.m. You get the Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. Not huge, but that's one that I see. But you know, Friday's data really kind of did bother me because it really provides insights into consumer behavior and trends and inflationary pressures in the U.S. And then we get the PCE coming in on Friday. That's going to be a source of concern. You get you get the non-farm payrolls report coming out this Friday. GDP estimates are coming out, I think, on Thursday. So we got a lot of economic activity later this week. But today, kind of light Dallas Fed manufacturing survey, and that's really it, Emily.
And Bill, you're using your NewsWare alerts to follow not only those earnings reports and economic events, but other types of news and information. When we get back to our desk on a Monday after a day like Friday where markets took a dive, and you're asking yourself, why are futures moving higher? It's really digging into the stories behind the stocks, looking at the details on the day that are market moving. And again, you're doing this using your NewsWare, looking at different data, information, and news in different sectors and segments. You look at things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news. You look at your stocks grouped together, like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
Just doing a quick data check. I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 28 higher and 2 lower. I mean, that's kind of nice. And then I'm looking at my FANG stocks. Yeah, there's weakness in Apple. Netflix, is trading, and Netflix and Tesla are lower as well. But for the most part, we are showing gains across the board. And if you're looking for some of the news behind the tape, I mean, listen, the big one, Apple to invest 500 billion in U.S. expansion. They want to add 20,000 jobs and AI facilities. That's really, a big ticket spend for Apple. Then you're looking at Google, their strength, this morning. Google's trading up by 2%. That strength is really kind of predicated because of Google's integration that could be coming with Gemini, with Apple. So we got to keep an eye on that. And then of course there's the U.S. demands to the EU clarifying the rules to rein in big tech. That's having an effect on these tech stocks this morning. But moving over to the Dow Jones 30, you got to talk about Disney, that streaming bundle of Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max. I mean, it shows an 80% retention rate after 3 months. That's positive. Home Depot just pointed out earnings tomorrow morning, EPS, expected move is, like $18. Quick call ratio was 0.85. I'm always cautious on Home Depot going into earnings. Stocks trading higher this morning. That's good to see. In terms of merger news, Apollo Global to acquire Bridge Investment Group for $1.5 billion in an all-stock transaction. In terms of guidance, we're talking Owens Corning, ticker OC. They see Q1 continuing operating revenue growth of mid 20%. In terms of shareholders meeting, CYBR, Charlie Yellow Boy Richard, CyberArk is holding an Investors Day today. Starts at 12:30 p.m. In terms of buyback news, LDOS, Larry David, Oscar, Sam, they entered into an accelerated share repurchasing agreement to buy back about $500 million worth of shares. And that's what I'm seeing on news in the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk pick of the day. Bill, a new week to start making picks. What is your pick of the day today?
I'm going to go with PSA, Paul Sam Apple. That's Public Storage. Earnings are out after the bell. EPS is $4.23. Expected move is 5.95%. Friday's call volume, it's light but positive. I mean, 287 calls versus 109 puts, 2-1. Open interest, 2,762 versus 18,029. Again, positive. I did see one of the major brokers have a nice strong overweight rating on the stock. For me to get in to PSA, I got to get in 301.50 to 302 area. That's kind of like my target price, where I'd feel comfortable getting in at the stock. But that's my pick of the day. PSA, Paul Sam Apple, Public Storage, Emily.
Public Storage, it is on an earnings play, looking for that specific entry price. And coming up, we will do a recap on Friday's pick of the day. Was it an earnings pick, but you were looking for a discount on that one and hoping it would go higher? So in just a moment, we will check in on that. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, what do we have here? Tesla prepares to deploy long-awaited fully self-driving features in China. Still got to get approval. Robinhood, HOOD. This is interesting. Robinhood announces that the SEC's investigation into Robinhood crypto that the SEC officially closed the investigation. Very positive for Robinhood and some of the crypto stocks this morning. Steel Dynamics, STLD, they authorized an additional 1.5 billion share repurchasing. Summit Therapeutics, S&amp, stocks up 5% after trial pact with Pfizer. PFE. LH, LabCorp announces clinically availability of liquid biopsy test. Canada, Mexico to step up fentanyl and border talks this week to avoid Trump tariffs. Alibaba said it plans to invest at least $52.44 billion in its cloud computing and AI infrastructure over the next 3 years. 3M's having a shareholders meeting on Wednesday. Cisco, SYY, Sam Yellow, they recalls frozen supplement shakes amid listeria outbreak. That's all I see happening this morning, Emily.
Okay, Bill, before we get to trading on this Monday, dive into another week. Let's do that check-in on Friday's pick of the day, which was United Healthcare. Now, this morning I did see that they did declare a quarterly dividend of $2.10. Now, Bill, you made this pick on Friday after the stock took a pretty big hit when that announcement was made about the investigation into possible security fraud violations. It was down pretty hard, and you made that call, rolling the dice to see if you could get in at a discount and make a gain from there. I do see it's up this morning. So, Bill, how did your call work out?
Well, it worked out fabulous. I mean, let's take it. UNH, Uncle Nancy Henry, United Healthcare. The stock opened up at $439.55. Remember, I said 440. And then it ran. It ran all the way up to 469.70 before closing at 466.42. It's like $20 higher. So you look at it this morning, trading 468. Yeah, United Healthcare, UNH was a winner on Friday. It was a good stock. It was a good pick. I was very happy. It was a good winner on Friday, Emily.
Nice big win there, Bill. You called it, and we will check in with you tomorrow about today's public storage pick of the day. Bill, thank you, as always, for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning this week at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.